You snapped at them today. Maybe it was something small. The way they left a glass on the counter, the TV too loud, the third time they said I'm fine when you could see that they weren't, and somehow that was the thing that broke through. And you said something. Not cruel, maybe, but sharp, with an edge you didn't mean to show. And then you spent the rest of the day carrying it. If that's you, if you've sat with the quiet shame of being angry at the person you're trying so hard to take care of, this video is for you. Because I've been there too. And I was terrified that it meant something awful about me. It doesn't, and I'm going to tell you why. Before we go further, if you're in the early weeks of caregiving and you don't know where to start, I put together a free checklist in the description. It's practical, it's honest, and it's the thing I wish someone had handed me on day one. Now, let's talk about the anger. This is not a video about anger management. It's not a video about how to be a calmer, more patient caregiver, and it's not a video about what you should or shouldn't be feeling. It's a video about what's actually happening inside you and why the anger you're ashamed of might be the most human response imaginable. There's one thing I want to tell you before this video ends. It's about what the anger is actually protecting. We'll get there. But first, let's name what's happening. The anger has a real source, and it's probably not them. Here's what I mean. When you snap over the glass or the silence or the I'm fine, you're not actually angry about the glass. You're angry about the diagnosis. You're angry about the appointments that swallowed your calendar. You're angry about the plans you canceled, the sleep you've lost, the version of your life that existed before this. You're angry at an illness that doesn't have a face, at a situation that has no one to blame, at the fundamental unfairness of all of it. And the illness can't hear you. The situation can't hear you. But the person you love is right there. They become the place where the anger lands. Not because they deserve it, not because you think it's their fault, but because they're the only one still in the room. That has a name. It's called displacement. And it doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you a person under enormous pressure with nowhere safe to put it. You probably already know this somewhere underneath the shame. You probably know that when you drove home from the appointment in silence, gripping the wheel, it wasn't because of anything they said. It was because you'd been holding everything together for so long that your hands had forgotten how to open. Here's the part nobody tells you. The shame spiral that follows the anger, that's the part that's actually doing the damage. You feel angry, and then you feel guilty for being angry, and the guilt exhausts you, and the exhaustion makes you more likely to snap again, and around it goes. Most caregivers I've heard from don't suffer most from the anger itself. They suffer from the shame they pile on top of it. And the shame is a lie. You are not an angry person. You are an exhausted person carrying something immense, and your body is trying to tell you something. Stay with me for a second, because this is the part that actually helped me. Anger is almost always a signal. Underneath almost every flare of it, there's a need that isn't being met. Not a character flaw, a need. And when you're a caregiver, the needs that go unmet tend to be the same ones, over and over. Rest you're not getting, help you're not asking for, acknowledgement that you are in this too, that you are going through something, that nobody is asking about. When was the last time someone asked how you were doing and waited for a real answer? When was the last time you were allowed to say, I'm not fine? Not to the care team, not in the waiting room, not to anyone who needed you to hold it together, but to someone who could actually hold it with you. The anger shows up when the answer to those questions has been a very long time. I put together a free checklist in the description that covers a lot of the practical side of caregiving. But one section is just for you, not for the person you're caring for you. If you haven't grabbed it, it's there. And I think you know exactly what I mean when I say this. You can't keep pretending you're fine when you're not. Not forever. Not without it going somewhere. So let me tell you what helped. Not as a prescription, not as an answer, but as one person to another. The anger needs somewhere to go that isn't them. For me, it was the car. I would get in the car alone, and I would let myself feel whatever was true. No managing it. No performing okayness. Just the real thing. In a space where it couldn't hurt anyone. For others, it's a journal or a walk or a phone call to the one person in your life who knows enough to not say everything happens for a reason. Whatever it is, find it, use it, give the anger a door instead of a wall. Because here's what nobody says about caregivers. We're not supposed to be without emotion. We're not supposed to be so good at this that nothing gets through. The goal isn't to feel nothing. The goal is to have somewhere honest to put what you feel, so it doesn't leak out sideways onto the person who's already scared enough. Now, here's what I wanted to tell you. The anger, the thing you've been ashamed of, is protecting something. It's protecting the love underneath it. You do not get that angry about things you don't care about. You don't lie awake at 3 a.m, furious and guilty and unable to sleep, because this person doesn't matter to you. You do it because they matter so much that the thought of losing them, or the reality of watching them struggle, is more than one person should have to carry quietly. The anger is not the opposite of love. It's what love looks like when it has no other way out. So let me leave you with 3 things. First, the anger is normal. Not comfortable, not something to act on, but normal. You are not broken. You are not a bad caregiver. You are a human being who is carrying something that would exhaust anyone. Second, you are allowed to feel it. Not at them, but somewhere, privately, safely, honestly. You do not have to perform serenity you don't have. And third, this one I want you to keep. The fact that the anger makes you feel guilty is itself proof of who you are. People who don't care don't carry guilt like this. The guilt, as awful as it feels, is a reflection of your love. You're not the person you're afraid of being. You never were. What's the emotion you've carried as a caregiver that you've never said out loud? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one, because somebody else needs to see your answer, and you might be the only person who says the thing they needed to hear. Free checklist is in the description. Grab it before you close this. And if this resonated, new videos every Tuesday and Friday for the people holding everything together.